Hi, Shalom. First and foremost, I give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakadash. The honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, peace and salutations to the Akim, to the elect that are scattered across the four corners of this earth, pushing the truth out in faith and in all sincerity. I'm the bro Shema Aleph from the GMS Houston camp, and in this lesson, I'm going to be going into Hebrews, the first chapter. All right, so without further ado, let's get into it. All right, this Hebrews 1:1. The Most High, who at sundry times and in diverse manners spake in time past unto the fathers by the prophets. So the Most High will always speak through his prophets. All right. It says, this is an NLT. Long ago, the Most High spoke many times and in many ways to our ancestors through the prophets. All right. So the Most High always done this. The Most High will always establish a group of men, or a certain person, a certain individual, right? An Israelite, of course, man, that he was dealing with and that had that truth, right? And was speaking his word and speaking his will on things that he wanted to bring forth and things that he wanted to carry out, whether it was judgment or salvation, whatever the topic may be. The Most High had particular men, right? And he doing the same thing, right? In these times, right? Men, right? According unto his heart, according unto his mind, he set up men. You read about that. Let's see. Uh, Jeremiah 3:15, and I will give you pastors. Right? Which pastor is it's basically like a shepherd, right? So, and I'll give you pastors according to my heart, going into the teachers, which shall feed you with knowledge and understanding. So, starting from the apostles and elders on down, the Most High has given these men the word, right, to feed with, right, feeding them with that manna, which is Yahushua. He said, "Hey, I come in the volume of the book that is written of me." So he said, "We shall feed you with knowledge and with understanding." So we're going to be getting fed. When Yahushua said, "Feed my sheep," this is what he was talking about. Feed them with this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. So you see, he's going to have certain men that he's going to raise up. He said, "And I will give you." All right. So let's go back. Hebrews 1:2, had in these last days spoken unto us by his Son, whom he had appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world. So he's talking about Yahushua. And he said in these last days, because the last days begin when Yahushua came on the scene. Soon as the Messiah, stepped foot on this planet Earth, the end began. Right? Because everybody always looked for the Messiah to come. And after the Messiah came and did what he did, then the end will follow. So he came and he died, right? He was crucified, he was that sacrifice, and now the days of salvation are near. That's why when Paul, right, he said in Romans 13, as Paul wrote Hebrews as well. Romans 13:11, and that knowing the time that now it is high time to wake out of sleep, for now is our salvation nearer than when we believe. So Paul's like, hey, bro, you better wake up. Right? Because hey, our salvation close. It's closer than what we think it is. Right? But it says, whom he had appointed heir of all things, by whom also he made the world. So Yahushua made all things. The Most High basically gave Yahushua the blueprint. Hey, this is how it should be done. And he wanted to go carry it out. He made the universe. He made people. He made the elect. He made nations. All these things. Right? Elements. It says, who being the brightness of his glory and the express image of his person. Right? The Most High basically made a lesser version of him to reign and be on the earth. Made someone to look just like him and to carry forth his will. Because if the Most High was to come down in a human form, it would have been like what Yahushua was. Right? So that's why not Peter, when Yahushua, when he was speaking to Philip, what is that, John 14:8, Philip said to him, Lord, show us the Father and it suffices us. Like Philip, like, man, I want to see the Father. Like, then I'll be straight. Show us the Father. You keep talking all this talk about the Father shit. Let me see him. Show me something. Yahushua said unto him, Have I been so long time with you, and yet hast thou not known me, Philip? He that has seen me has seen the Father. And how says thou then shows the Father? So Yahushua like, what the hell are you talking about? You've been around me this whole time, right? And you ain't know me. He said, if you have seen me, you have seen the Father. Meaning, I'm just like him. Right? I'm just like him. I'm coming with his word. I look just like him. Right? He basically telling them, like, hey, hey, I'm that guy. The Father, the Father put everything within me. Right? It says, with him all fullness shall dwell. Right? It says, and upholding all things by the word of his power, when he had by himself purged our sins, sat down on the right hand of the Majesty on high. So he was set up on a high position from basically carrying out the job that he was given, right? Which was to be the Messiah for the nation of Israel, to be that sacrifice, that lamb without blemish, being made so much better than the angels, as he had by inheritance obtained a more excellent name than they. So he inherited a greater position than them, right? As being the Son of the Heavenly Father, the only begotten, the first thing that the Most High created. The scriptures call Yahweh Shai the beginning of his creation. Right? So just from being that, he got preeminence right over everybody. Right? It says, for unto which of the angels said he at any time, thou art my son, this day have I begotten thee. And again, I will be to him a father, and he shall be to me a son. So none of the angels he said this to. He only said this to Yahweh Shai. All right. Hey, you my son. I created you this day. Right? I'm gonna be a father unto you, and you're gonna be my son. Right? That's powerful. That statement alone, like rose Yahweh Shai above anybody, because the Most High ain't say that to nobody else that he created, or to nothing else. Right? Hey, and when you think about it, he said this to Solomon, which Solomon was Yahweh Shai. And when you put these things together through the Spirit, and you know, like, damn, that had to be him. Right? Because this is what he said to Yahweh Shai, right? When he was created. He said, this day have I begotten thee, meaning he was created. But when Solomon was about to be born, because when Nathan came with David, he told him the son that he was going to have. He said he was going to be a father unto him. He said, the son that you're going to have, I'm going to be his father. Right? That's going to be my son. So it's telling you that it's going to be Yahweh, the whole prophecy, right? Indicated that it was talking about someone else, right? It was talking about Solomon, right? But later on down the line, he was going to come back as the Messiah. Because then again, when he bringeth in the first begotten into the world, he said, and let all the angels of the Most High worship him. So he's much higher than the angels. All the angels are under Yahweh Shai, and he orders them. And the angels, and of the angels, he said, who maketh his angels spirits, and his ministers a flame of fire, right? The angels of pure energy. But unto the Son, he said, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. So the Most High is acknowledging Yahweh Shai as a God. He putting all this power and glory on him just through words. Just through words. Right? The Most High is basically, what's the word? He's stamping his approval on him. Right? It's just like a king when he put his signet on something. It's serious. It's like a king seeing a letter and it's and his signet is on it, right? It's basically kind of like his signature. It's serious. Hey, he didn't say this, then hey, this is what it is. Right? It says a scepter of righteousness is a scepter of thy kingdom, because Yahweh Shah is going to have that everlasting kingdom that's going to last forever. Right? Because it says Solomon when in 2 Samuel 7. So let me grab that since I keep on mentioning it. 2 Samuel 7 and 12, when thy days were fulfilled, and thou shalt see with thy fathers, this is Nathan unto David, and I will set up thy seed after thee, which shall proceed out of thy bowels, and I will establish his kingdom. Talking about Solomon, he became a king next after David. He shall build a house for my name, which is the temple, that first temple, and I will establish the throne of his kingdom forever. Now Solomon only reigned, for 40 years. Right? So this was talking about the Messiah, because he said, I will be his father, and he shall be my son. If he commit iniquity, I will chasten him with the rod of men and with the stripes of the children of men. Now, Solomon committed iniquity, but he wasn't beaten. So when was he beaten? He was beaten when he came as Yahushua. That's why when men will come up to Yahushua calling him good master or good, he said, why are you calling me good? Ain't nobody good but the Most High, because he knew in his previous lives that he went off. Right? We said, my mercy shall not depart away from him, as I took it from Saul, whom I put away before thee. Right? So, hey, talking about Yahushua, it says, thou hast loved righteousness and hated iniquity. Therefore, the Most High, even thy God, had anointed thee with the oil of gladness above thy fellows. Establish him, set him up above everybody, above the angels, above the elect, right? Above everybody, right? And Satan is the left-hand angel. He's over Satan as well. And thou, Lord, in the beginning has laid the foundation of the earth, and the heavens are the work of thine hands. So he's calling him Lord as well. All right. The Lord is really putting that stamp of approval on Yahushua. Like, this is his guy. All right. The Lord gave the blueprint, and he let Yahushua carry that out. Right? He let him receive that glory, of being able to create it, right? And he's giving him a stamp of approval, right? But we all know that there ain't nobody greater than the Most High, because through the Most High's, wisdom, and through his great wisdom, which is, it can't even be measured, or it can't even be compared unto, right? It's just unlimited, right? He gave a piece of that, to Yahushua to be able to create, what we see before us, to create everything. All right. The only one that's closest to the Most High is Yahushua. That's why he said about the angel in Exodus, he said, my name shall be in him. That's how you know that was Yahushua. Right? It says, they shall perish, but thou remainest, and they all shall wax old as doeth thy garment. And as a vesture thou shalt fold them up, and they shall be changed. And Yahushua is going to subdue, all of these different nations. He's going to subdue the heathen, and even put the enemies of Israel down. He said, he shall fold them up. Hey, when the God say, hey, I'm gonna fold you up anytime, hey, that ain't nothing nice if you get folded up, right? Meaning you're gonna get beat down, right? Or you have a fight and they say, I mean, that nigga folded up like a lawn chair, right? Or like a chair or something like that. All right. Hey, that ain't nothing nice to get folded up. It said, but thou art the same, and thy years shall not fail. Right, thy years shall not fail. Hey, Yahushua he's gonna live forever. He's that high priest in the heavens forever, that's gonna live and not die. He already died. It was that sacrifice, now he's gonna live forevermore. But to which of the angels said he, anytime sit on my right hand until I make thine enemies thy footstool? He told that to Yahushua. And David quoted this in the spirit about him. Psalm 110:1. Yahweh said unto my Lord, the Lord said unto my Lord, sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. Now, who is his Lord? Right? He was speaking of Solomon, which that was his son, but he knew who eventually that was going to be, that was going to be the Messiah. So Yahweh said unto my Lord, because this is the King David, who is Lord over him? Sit thou at my right hand until I make thy enemies thy footstool. And this was said unto Yahushua. Right? So he was speaking about the Yahushua, right? Through the Spirit. It says, are they not all ministering spirits sent forth to minister for them who shall be heirs of salvation? All right. So Yahweh Shah is on the right hand side of the Heavenly Father, and the rest of the angels are ministering and doing the bidding, right, of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. All right. So Yahweh Shah is much greater, and he has that the preeminence. Right. He has that high rank, that great name. That's why Philippians, the 2nd chapter, speaks about everybody bowing down unto him, because it's already been established. He said, "Hey, all power has been given in me, has been given to me in heaven and in earth." Right? So, hey, that's the lesson. I'll just edifying. With that, I'm gonna say, hey, shalom.